Everyone, I'm back and I wanted to do a haul video from my trip to London. I was able to go child free and have the opportunity to eat and shop and wander for a few days, so I took advantage of it. For this trip, I only bought a few things, but I think they're all pretty good. Also, you should know that I worked with a personal shopper at Heathrow, which I found very helpful. I won't get into all of that today, A, because I'm not sure you care about that, and B, that's just a whole other story. But if anyone wants to hear more information about that or wants me to make a video about that, I'll be happy to do so. I didn't really buy any clothes, with the exception of I did go to Wimbledon to the All England Club, and I bought this sweatshirt and a baseball cap. I'm a really big tennis fan. The quality of their sweatshirts I think were pretty good. They're fairly expensive. You do get the VAT back. And that's it for clothes, nothing else. I didn't even check a bag, although I was forced to check a bag at the gate coming back. Okay, so next you'll see right there is the Hermes Avalon blanket in light gray. It's a really beautiful light gray and white color. Hopefully you can see the true color. If not, you can go on the Hermes website and look it up. The sales associate said that sometimes they do have these, sometimes they don't. Sometimes their color stock is very limited. When I went, they had light gray, dark gray, that brown camel color, blue, and they may have had a couple extra colors, I'm not sure. But I was hesitant because I wasn't sure if I wanted this gray, which is quite a cool gray, versus the warmer gray, which has a contrasting, very light beige color instead of white. I know the light is probably throwing off the color, but hopefully you get the point. This is something that I learned on this trip. There are certain brands that the savings are huge. And there are certain brands, while there are savings because it's a European corporation, they've really worked hard towards making their prices globally fair. Hermes is not one of those brands. It is a lot more expensive in the US. For something like my Birkin, where I was able to say to my sales associate exactly what I wanted, for me, that is worth it to buy it here. But for things like the Avalon blanket or something that I'll show you next, it is entirely possible to get abroad, and the savings are incredible. They're really bulky to bring back, I'll warn you. So as for the price of this was 958 pounds. I got it at Heathrow. That worked out to $1,172. Now, if I hadn't bought this at the airport, the price was 1,150 pounds. So that would have been, and I'm doing the math right now, about $1,400 with the exchange rate when I was there. So the airport is a huge savings, even versus regular London with VAT back. Since you have to remember, when you do the VAT back process, the global exchange company takes their cut. Not going to get the full VAT back like you do at the airport if you just purchase at Hermes or Harrods or any other store. But this was on my wish list for next year, but I just could not turn down that kind of savings. Had I bought this item in New York with tax, it would have been around $1,660. So I saved a little under $500, which is about a 30% savings. Next are two items from Jo Malone. I've never bought anything from Jo Malone before. I find it quite expensive in America, and I like candles. I just only recently got into them, but there's a limit in how much I'll pay for a candle, and Jo Malone in the US really exceeds my limit. So I took advantage to just try them out. Again, I was limited on space, so didn't want to buy a whole lot. Plus, I wasn't really sure I'd like it, so I just got two things. The first is the lime basil and mandarin diffuser. Comes with the black sticks. You get 5.6 full ounces, so I'm assuming this will last a while. I really love this scent. They said this was their best seller. I didn't really love this scent in the candle, but really loved it in the diffuser. Next is a YouTube favorite. It's the Peony and Blush Suede candle. I really love the scent of this in the candle. I smelled it in the diffuser, didn't like it as much. The Jo Malone I also bought at the airport. I'll give you the normal UK prices. I'll tell you what I paid at the airport, and I'll also tell you what they retail for in the US. You can see what the savings are. So the diffuser is normally 64 pounds. I paid 51 pounds 15, a 13 pounds difference. The candle is normally 48 pounds. I paid 38 pounds 60, so about a 10 pounds difference. My total was 89 pounds 75, which converted to 109 US dollars. In America, the candle would be $67 and the diffuser would be $98. I would have paid $179.64 had I bought those two items here versus the $109 there. So I saved about $70, which proportionally to the cost of the items, that's a huge savings. That's essentially 40% off. So I definitely think it's worth it for things that you either really wanted to try or were going to buy anyway. So next up is another Hermes item. I was super psyched to find this. I did not buy it at the airport. I bought it at Harrods, and I'm so glad that I didn't even attempt to buy it at the airport because they didn't have any of these types of items in stock. This item and the bulkiness of the packaging is what sent my carry-on baggage over the limit, and I was forced to check my carry-on bag at the gate. I was very happy that I did not take my Louis Vuitton keep-all on this trip because it would have been thrown under a plane. But I had my little Henry Bendel carry-all, and this took up a giant portion of the space. It's not even a huge item, but it needs to be packed really well or it will break. Okay, so I'll show you what it is. Here is the care booklet. You may be able to tell the kind of item that it is now. It's an Hermes Mosaic 24 teapot in the platinum color. Here's the bottom. You can't see it, but with Hermes fine china, the person that makes it always puts a tiny little mark to identify who the craftsman was. So this is one of those items that's really quite bulky. I hemmed and hawed, but ultimately the proportion of what I was saving made it worth it. So this item is $730 in the US plus tax, so almost $800. This was 490 pounds, which equaled about 600 US dollars. I got about $50, $55 VAT back. So in total, it was about 545, 550 US dollars. So that's about $250 less than US prices. And this was something that I kind of really wanted to buy for my essay. I knew that I wanted it. I really want a full Hermes tea collection. Tea is something that I am very passionate about. I drink every single day. My daughter is very into tea. This is something I would love to leave to her. The only other thing that I bought from Harrods was a bunch of tea for me and my mom. So I also want the breakfast teacups and saucers to match this. Maybe that's something that I'll buy with my essay, but the prices here are just so exorbitant. I just took advantage of being in England and the dollar being relatively strong. Last up, and the real reason why I used the personal shopping service, because I really wanted to ensure that I got this item. Comes in the Cartier box, and then the Cartier jewelry box. It also came with its certificate that's stamped and dated. I have a travel case. Click to open. And here it is, guys. It's the Cartier Juste Clou bracelet in yellow gold, and mine is in size 15. I was able to have both size 15 and 16 reserved, and the 15 fit the way I wanted it to fit. Okay, you press to open. So here's the bracelet, and this is likely how I'll wear it with this watch. And I have a couple of other bracelets in mine that I may want to stack with this. This is my little stack for now. And you'll see it goes down a little bit, so it does touch my watch. It goes up a little bit, and I can put other bracelets in between to stack. The reason I didn't want to get size 16 is I really don't want this overlapping my watch, and then the bezel of my watch and this bracelet will just get completely scratched. Now this is going to get scratched anyway, it's inevitable, but that just wasn't the look that I was going for. I wanted it to be able to stay in place. And my personal shopper and the Cartier sales associate both agree that 15 was my size. Unfortunately for me, Cartier in the UK had a price increase maybe 3 weeks before I got there. I know, terrible timing. Even with the price increase, which was about 210, maybe 208 pounds, something like that, which was equivalent to about 250 US dollars. So unfortunately, I did end up paying $250 more for this than I would have, but it was still a significant savings. The price in the US for this is $6,800 plus New York tax brings it up another $600 or so. So about $7,400 US dollars. It was $6,200 after you convert it to US dollars. So about a $1,200 difference. Again, had I gone a month ago, it would have been a $1,450 difference. I still think that this was a pretty good deal on something that I really wanted. Such an elegant piece with a bit of an edge. I also tried on the Cartier Love Cuff. I'm not sure if I've ever said this on YouTube, but I'm not a very big fan of the Cartier Love Bracelet. I'm not a person that can sleep in jewelry every night. So although I always found the Love pretty, it just wasn't in the cards for me. But I tried on the Love Cuff and it looks really good stacked with this. So it's definitely something to consider. Okay guys, that is my entire London/Heathrow haul. Please let me know if you have any questions. I tried to be as thorough and informative as possible. I only bought 5 or 6 items, which is probably a small haul for someone traveling from abroad. I know that the videos that I watch, especially from Americans traveling to Europe, they usually buy a whole lot more because the savings are really good. But this was actually quite a lot for me. If you've watched my channel before, kind of almost consider myself a bit of a minimalist, or at least a luxury minimalist. So I don't buy a lot of things, and I put a lot of thought into what I do buy. I'll probably do a wish list video by the end of the year, so you can see what I have on my radar for 2020 and beyond. Thank you so much for watching this video. Please subscribe to my channel, and I will see you in my next one. Bye-bye.